Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iconic Messengers. I am your host, Pat Hilton, broadcasting live from the Content Hub of Dallas, Acoustic Force Media Private Studios, and it is time to get down. Check it. The best way for you to get awesome results in any area of life is to amplify your output. Inputs and outputs. So when you're doing audio, my input of my microphone is going into input 1. And on input 1, I have a 48 volt phantom power that powers this microphone. It needs extra power. It's so powerful. And a cloud lifter system. So this has 1, 2, 3 components. 2 different cables. One goes into the cloud lifter, one goes into here. It powers the thing and makes it sound totally awesome for you. Right? It amplifies the output. It adds 48 volts of phantom power to this system, which makes it sound so awesome. And if you follow podcasting at all, you'll notice these microphones all over the place in podcasting. A lot of people call it the Joe Rogan microphone, but really they've been around much, much longer than that. So, what are you doing to amplify your output in certain categories of life? So if you have a category that you want to be successful in, I don't know, that might be your relationship. That might be money. That might be business. That might be fitness. How much are you putting into it? Because the inputs are going to give you the outputs. So if you're not putting anything in, you're going to have an empty cup. So the output is going to be 0 because you put nothing into it. I see a lot of people that want to be on social media. They want to be speaking on stages. They want to be category experts, but they don't film anything speaking directly to the camera or covering exactly what they do in a professional way. And then everybody wonders what they do. And then they don't get the opportunities they want because they didn't put enough in to get the output that they wanted or the result that they wanted. This is a very simple thing. So I've been putting in 25 years of producing and entertaining, jumping around on stages, singing songs, performing, making media content, video. And it has, over the last 3 or 4 years, really manifested into something awesome when it comes to reading and being able to really statistically say, hey, I'm seeing a noticeable, measurable output from my inputs. So if you want to amplify the output, what are you putting in? Everyone wants the output. Everybody wants the result. There's nothing wrong with that. You're probably capable of getting whatever result you want in whatever category you want a result in. But I'm asking you, if you want a result in that category, but you're not putting in the work, how can you possibly expect to get an output from that category? Coming into some really, really huge events. Beginning of September, I have an event in Chicago with Tim Grover. Michael was and still is, I guess forever now. He was Michael Jordan's personal trainer during his time with the Chicago Bulls, where he won 6 world championships. This guy, Tim Grover, was Michael Jordan's personal trainer. Outside of the Chicago Bulls, he was putting in time with a personal trainer, personal development coach, and that's why he was the best. He wasn't just putting in time with the team or showing up to team practice or showing up to this or that or the other thing. He had his own coach, Tim Grover, so that he could become Air Jordan and create a legacy that lives forever. 6 world championships. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. 20, 30 years after Michael Jordan isn't even on this earth, people will have his logo on their shoes. That's how good he is. So anybody that tells you that what you do with your life or your time on earth doesn't matter and everybody's going to forget about you, that's a popular Alex Hormozy line. And I don't necessarily disagree with his angle, but I also have to say, okay, well, What are you doing to make sure people remember you? People will talk about Walt Disney forever. People still talk about Julius Caesar. People talk about Jesus all the time. He died like 2,500 years ago. What are you doing to put in so much activity, so much positivity, value, and action that you get the outputs that you want? Not only do you get the outputs you want, other people are able to use what you do to get an output for themselves. How are you setting the standard in a category so that your logo is the slam dunk that everybody remembers? People still wear and will always wear Air Jordan on their feet. I was walking through Walmart the other day, and there was this cereal set up. All the normal cereals, you got your Reese's Puffs and your Cocoa Krispies and your Count Chocula. It's pretty much like a chemical. It's like the Roundup aisle, only it's marked as cereal, right? Because it's like a chemical forest. And I noticed Dragon Ball Z was on the front of a couple different cereal boxes, and it's like that animator died last year. The guy who created Dragon Ball, I don't know if you're this big of a dork, but I am. He passed away. And his creation, his animation creation, is still in the grocery aisle for cereal because he created something so cool. I actually have his characters right here. Right there. Let's zoom it out. Hey. His characters are so awesome. The animation was so cool. People will continue to watch those forever. It's the standard when it comes to that style of animation. And every other animated series that uses that like slow motion charge up punch kind of thing, they all got that from Dragon Ball. How are you creating something so innovative and so unique and so cool that you help other people say, wow, that guy showed it's possible because that guy did it. Why can't I do it? Think about that. If you want results, what are you putting in? I've been doing these every single day now for almost 2 weeks. I've been doing these every single day because I'm going to get so good at doing these that even when I'm out of town at these events, I bought a portable rig. I'm going to go grab it. Watch this. I bought a portable rig. This portable rig. So even when I'm out of town at events, I can grab this portable rig now. Okay? And I can do interviews and all kinds of stuff with people with a microphone. And I can do it in the hallway. It says a DJI Action 4. So I'm going to be able to walk around at events now with a microphone that connects right to this Bluetooth. And this is my portable rig. I don't need to bring anything else. And I can get super high quality audio and video and talk to people in the hallways. I'm going to talk to Tim Grover, Michael Jordan's personal trainer, at that event backstage. We actually shared the stage in 2018 together. So that's kind of a full circle moment for me. But what kind of inputs are you developing so that you can get the outputs that you want? I think that tools like software and hardware can help you. My buddy Fraser Bailey talks about how your body is hardware and the food and the nutrients and the stuff that you put into your body are the software. And so when you're continually upgrading the software, your body runs, the hardware runs better. It's just like anything else. This system that I've built for broadcasting live from the Content Hub is different than the system that I'm going to use when I'm out of town, because these episodes I want to continue to do even if I'm not in this room. And so I'll be able to record them on here and post them even if I'm out of town. It's really, really cool. And so I have prepared for that. And I want you guys to think about, how are you preparing for what kind of results you want? What kind of results you want to see? Because often the things that you need to do are right in front of you. You just need to make a plan to get the inputs in. If you put it in, you'll get the outputs. You cannot amplify your outputs unless you amplify the input first, or you're going to get a weak output. The same thing with the microphone, like I told you. So this microphone plugs into input 1, but before it even gets there, it plugs into this little cloud lifter thing, right? This cloud lifter thing is called the cloud lifter. And the cloud lifter gives it more juice. And then I also boost it with 48 volts of phantom power. So this microphone sounds really good by itself, but it doesn't work correctly unless you plug it into the cloud lifter and you add 48 volts of phantom power. Then the input is amplified. It's like an extra 64 volts so that it sounds so awesome. All the good podcasters use this mic because it's so clean, it's so smooth, but it's got that amplified, powerful sounding crunch. So like an aggressive delivery style speaker like me, it captures all of that. You know, my buddy Brad Lee, he's a little bit more of a smooth delivery than me. He's real smooth. I'm more of a rapid fire type of guy. Pow, 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 pow. So you got to figure out, how are you going to modernize your sound so that it captures your entire input? So think about that today, folks. Okay? Okay? And this might sound stupid, or this might seem really, really, really easy, but everything's easy if you do it once. But the inputs, they equal the outputs. So if you want some kind of specific output, what are you putting in? Everybody wants the results, but they're not putting in what needs to get them the results. I want results in all kinds of categories. And I mean, there's certain categories I don't put in anything, so I don't get the result in that category. So you're also going to have to decide how much can you possibly put in during a day, and you're going to have to figure out and compartmentalize what you can even do in a day. That's part of this exercise. What can I even put in a day to get the result that I want out of the day? Because if you're unprepared, you're not going to get the results. I would encourage you to document what you're putting in every day. What are you putting in every day? And what output does that create? I'd make a list of every single thing I do every day. I have a watch now, and it literally tells me exactly what I'm doing every single second of every day. That's why this show is a little later than some of the other ones, because I had to build the kids' computers. I had to do this. I had to set up somebody's Airtable for their content with our agency. And I had to do all these different things this morning. And that was the priority this morning, so that I could come on here and then do this. If I don't put in those inputs, well, then there's no studio. Without our company, there is no studio. There is no streaming. There is no, the pool. Like, we serve people first, and we get the output second. We put in for our people first. The outputs come second. I think some people want the output first without any input. Think about that today as you're going through your day. What are you putting in? If you want to amplify your output, make sure that signal is so strong coming in that you can't possibly fail on the other side. That equation's pretty simple, but I'm telling you, the consistency is difficult. The consistency is difficult. It's easy to put it all in one day, but how about 365 days a year for 10, 15, 20 years? You are going up against, in this competitive economy, it's getting competitive in the entrepreneur economy. And by the way, it's always been, it's just that it's not as easy as it was 2 years ago for some people. And they're like, oh, it's so hard. It's always been hard. It's always been difficult to do what you want to do for a living. It's just that people are wiser and smarter now because of the internet. Can't get away with just scamming. You got to be good. Put it in, and you'll get the outputs. What are you doing today to put in so much dedication that you create the discipline and the habits and the skills necessary to put in at a higher rate tomorrow, and at a higher rate Saturday, and at a higher rate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, to the point where a year from now, you're so good that everyone's like, that person is undeniably the best in their category. And then you will attract a multiple of the outputs that you have now. You will multiply your results because you will attract more coming in because you put more in. I'm telling you, dude. Failed college algebra, but this equation works. Go out there and put it in so that you can get out of life everything that you deserve. Love you guys. Iconic Messengers, broadcasting live from the Content Hub of Dallas, private studios of Acoustic Force Media. We'll see you on the next one. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Facebook. We just give it to you live in the flesh. See you on the next one.